Hi again, everyone. It's Anna from Catcher Legal here, a boutique law firm based in Northcote in Melbourne. Joining me today is Alana from Exposure. Alana is a marketing and social media strategist who provides multiple tailored packages to help her clients connect and convert with their ideal target through her business, Exposure. Thank you so much for joining me today, Alana.
No problem. It's great to be here and thanks for having me.
We'll be spending the next 5 minutes or so discussing the importance of maintaining effective control over your website and social media platforms. Alana, you and I recently had a situation where a client wanted to restore their website and social media accounts after they provided an external consultant with primary access across their platforms. I remember calling you and saying, I'm not sure if this was the right thing to have done. The consultant did change the passwords and our client had actually lost all access to their website and social media accounts. This is something that happened just at the very onset of COVID-19 when everyone was digitizing and it became so important to rely on those social media platforms. Luckily, with the help and assistance of a letter on legal letterhead by Sarah and I, we were able to recover the lost passwords for our client. But it's not always that simple, is it, Alana?
No, it's not. And unfortunately, it is an area where people do get caught out and they don't understand what they should have access to is probably the biggest issue. And so they hand it all over not really knowing, and it should be disclosed to them. It's not really their responsibility to know what they should have. But unfortunately, there are companies out there that don't follow ethics and will maintain control of assets they shouldn't.
So as a consultant, if a business hands over the primary access to a website, is it the case that the consultant should really be saying no?
Yeah, they should be informing them of what they're handing over and letting them know if there are alternative ways around it as well. I know for us, with helping clients with websites, we always make sure they know what their passwords are, they know what the levels of access are, they know about their domain and their hosting and what those two things are and why they need access to them. And even simple things like that the registration details are always their name, not ours. It always has their email address, not ours. So they are always the primary holder of those accounts.
Do you think that the COVID-19 pandemic could potentially act as a catalyst for us genuinely viewing our market branding in the digital marketplace as an asset, as we would say a bank account?
I do definitely think that due to COVID and what we're seeing with the nature of behaviour, both with clients and new prospects, is they are recognising more the importance of having these online platforms available and having a properly optimized website where you can generate traffic no matter what else is happening. So I think they are more in tune and aware of that now, which is fantastic. One of the ones that I see a lot in terms of the social media space is an agency or a consultant saying to the client, make me an admin on your Facebook page, and the client knows no different, so they'll make that person an admin. And in actual fact, to market effectively on that person's Facebook page, you don't need admin access. It's not required.
Yeah, that's a really good point that, in a perfect world, I think that when humans deal with one another, they should be very ethical and, get into the habit of best practice. But unfortunately, in real life, it just doesn't happen to be that way. And so as a business owner, you should probably equip yourself with the best knowledge out there, which is why it's so important, Alana, and thank you so much for sharing this valuable knowledge with us, because I think as well as losing access to your own platforms, another difficulty is if you are aligned with a particular marketing consultant and then all of a sudden it's the case that you wish to sell your business and you no longer want to engage that same marketing consultant, the third party that you are endeavoring to sell your business to is going to see your business reputation, your market brand and your market presence as part of the profitability of that business and as part of what we call goodwill, because if the social media platform has a really large base of followers, obviously it will be the case as the party purchasing the business. Of course they'd want access to that. And if it's the case that you as the business owner turn around and say, well, you actually have to maintain a particular relationship with this particular marketing consultant because I don't know what my actual login details are. I mean, that's just as absurd as saying, yeah, I've just lost this $1 million piece of machinery. It's in my name, but I gave it to someone to borrow and now I don't know where it is.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. They do need to think about long-term how that works. And, with websites as well, some people have lost, thankfully none of the clients we've dealt with, but there are a lot of cases where people have lost their website because they haven't had control of the domain and it's just been taken. So that is a risk if you don't have proper access with that as well.
Can you talk to me about the pros and cons of building your own website as opposed to having a web developer that handles that for you?
Actually, there is a guide that we'll provide as part of this video, which we've got, which is on what to consider when building a website, which covers a lot of that. But really, in terms of maintaining a secure website and one that is properly built, you always need to make sure that it's updated and that it has an SSL, which is a security layer that gets put on top of the website as well to help with that. Maintaining backups, making sure you've got a strong password. There's a number of things that will really help to ensure that it stays up. Usually when websites are lost, they have either not had one of those things or sometimes they haven't had a backup. So if it has crashed or it has gone, they've got nothing to restore and no way of getting it back. To give you an example, with our clients, when we build a website and we hand it over, we keep a backup. So if they ever come to us and they've done something and it's just gone wrong, we can restore it back to how it was when it was built. Some don't know about the security layers and what they should have, or they're using potential hosts as well that charge through the roof for all that as well, because there is variations in pricing as well. So it's really just understanding, the core foundations.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know what you don't know, which is why you turn to experts in the field. So when it comes to marketing, obviously, I recommend your services very highly, because I know that when I'm talking to you about making a post, say, even on LinkedIn, the platform that, we're using to post these videos, you've explained a few things to me about how LinkedIn's algorithms work and how that can differ to other social media platforms. So obviously it's things that I don't know about, and so your knowledge is very helpful to me in that regard, and I can't reiterate it enough. Websites and social media platforms, particularly now more than ever, definitely form part of the core part of a business and its assets.
It is, yeah. And even if people we've had, some new leads come to us who already have signed a contract and they're not sure. So they've come and asked us questions about, they're not really sure what they're getting, and we've given them a list of questions that they can go back and ask. So it's not, it's not that people have to come to us to get it done, to be able to get help or to check that they're on the right path. We're more than happy to provide them with, resources they need to make sure that they're on the right track, because being protected is so important, and making sure that they're getting value for money as well. Because, the other thing with websites is, making sure that you're really understanding everything that you're getting, because what I see is a lot that come to us and they say, well, I got quoted this up front, and then they added extra and extra and extra and extra and extra and extra, and it's blown way out of proportion. It's really understanding what you're actually getting is really important.
People were scared of legal fees, and all of a sudden you told there you go. Yeah, okay.
They shouldn't be. The right contracts and legal advice, you can't put a price on that, in my opinion. That's is critically important.
Excellent. Alana, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that for all of our viewers out there, this information will help them, and that they definitely will retain their passwords and will not be granting any primary access to any of their marketing consultants, or just to any consultants generally speaking.
That's all right, no problem. And any questions, feel free to ask below for any of you that are watching, and reach out if you need any further help.
Thanks, Alana.
No problem.